Okay, so let me share with you what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so we're going to be doing the Tectonics solutions assignment again. So what you're going to do today is basically do the, I think you were in B, group B. I think you were group B. So you're going back to this document that we were working on yesterday. Yep, there's yours. So now you've got two people who have also commented on it and their ideas. So what you're going to do for the first part is you're going to read their ideas. You have to put two, basically two support or guidance on tsunami and two support or guidance on earthquake. So you could do, I think you should just do one for Lemmy and one for Leland. Just put, you know, just like the example I gave above, my example of a support or guidance was, I'm not sure about this. Wouldn't digging under the city make it so the city has less support underneath it? They would suffer more destruction in the earthquake and tsunami. So basically, if you have any like, hey, I think that's a great idea because it would do this, it would do this, like it would be great for these reasons. You can give a support like that, or you can give a guidance. So say, I'm not so sure this would work, or have you thought about doing this instead? Or, you know, like basically something like, I don't see how that would be effective because this, or I don't see how that would work because of this. So make sure your support and guidance is either saying, hey, that's a great idea because of this, or I don't think that would work because of this. Okay, and that's pretty much, you know, the first part of class today. So again, so do a support or guidance for Lemmy and Leland up here, and then a support guidance for Lemmy and Leland down here. Leland had two ideas. I think this top one of his was his official one, I think. Because I mean, they kind of talk about the same thing, but I didn't want to change it for him, but I'm pretty sure they talk about the same thing. So just put it on this top one. So just one support guidance for each of them for both earthquakes and tsunamis. So you'll fill out this box, you'll fill out this box, you'll fill out this box and this box, okay? All right, so go ahead and do that, and then you can either chat with me when you are done, or you can just unmute and let me know when you're done, and then we'll move on from there, okay? Okay, go ahead and get started with those. There we go. Okay, so now that you have each of these, you know, things right there, you've got all that assignment done, so now you're done with that assignment. So now we're just gonna kind of talk about the different ideas and see which ones, you know, you think are the best ideas. So let's look at tsunamis first. So we've got your idea, building homes that are above the levels of when a tsunami hits. And then we've got Lemmy's idea of building air forces that use oxygen and put into a big machine that pumps out air just like a Nerf gun. It uses air to push out the bullet. Instead of using a bullet, we would push oxygen in the water and pushes the water out. And then build buildings for Leland, build buildings for more than 10 miles from the coastline. So out of those three ones right there, and just to make things fair, I'll put in a support or guidance for yours, I guess there. There's some tsunamis that are up to, you know, 11 to 15 feet high. So, you know, having homes that, are you talking about like above the level or just above like ground level? Are you talking about like up in the air above the tsunami waves?
Yes, kind of like that. Some there.
Okay. So I guess my only a guidance that could be put right here for yours, just to make it fair for all three ideas, is that, you know, with some tsunami waves being 10 to 15 feet high, that would put homes very high above the ground. And I'm not sure how to make that stable where, as the wind hits, like what are you going to put underneath the homes to make it stable? Are you going to put like posts? Are you going to build like a huge tall foundation? Are there going to be like bridges in between the homes? And how are you going to put streets in there? Or are you like going to have to like build everything up? That would take a lot of money to put in the infrastructure. So that would be my guidance on that one. So of those three, go ahead and share with me which one of those do you think could be the best bet right now as we look at it, meaning like cost wise and most effective. So which one do you think you would go with?
The air pump thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be worth looking into, right? I would be worried about like where the water goes. Like if you push the water out with the air pump, like the water's going to go somewhere, right? The force of air in the water, like you have to make sure the force of the air is more powerful than the force of the water, which is very powerful. Or do we even make pumps that powerful? Like it'd be interesting to find out, right? To find out like what could happen, what's possible with that. Yeah. All right, so let's go to earthquakes now. So idea for the earthquake. So you can, yours would be to build wheels under the houses. So when the rubbing of the earthquakes hit, they won't be able to damage the homes or have mass damage to the homes. Next one was make the things in the house stick to the wall so they won't fall and hurt someone. I think maybe this was his like actual one now that I think about it. Because I think that was the second one was his last one, is his actual one, but that's okay. And then by making people live about 20,000 feet or 3 to 4 miles up in the air, by making it hover in the air, we can use this electricity. And it looks like he didn't finish his comment. But Leland's other comment was to make the walls and roof more tougher so they won't fall. So to make it fair to give yours one as well, kind of like what I talked about yesterday, how are you going to keep once they're on wheels, how are you going to keep the homes from crashing into each other, right? If there's a lot of shaking, they start moving towards and they crash, and so you'll still have damage, right? So of those ideas, which one do you think might be the one that you would want to check out and find more information about to see if it would work? Which one would you pick?
Making things stick to like the walls.
Okay. So at least in the house, finding a way to make things permanent to the walls or very secure, right? Which would be hard to find something that's secure enough but won't leave damage, like if someone wants to like move something, so yeah, I mean that would help inside the wall, inside the house. And one reason why I had him add this other one was because sure, this keeps some damage in the home from happening, but we're talking about like the bigger picture, like the bigger damage, like buildings collapsing and people's lives being lost and roads, so like that is, his wasn't as much of a bigger picture. So his second one was, actually more towards, where we're going. And so his other one was better, was walls and roofs more tougher so they won't fall. So finding ways to maybe change the material of what we build, which we have, I'm not sure if we talked about it in class with you, but they actually make windows now that aren't like pure glass. So like when they move, they kind of like go like this a little bit, not that much, but they like kind of are able to be like move a little bit. So they don't make it just straight a stick of glass. They do what they call double pane windows, where there's a space in between, and those are a little bit flexible, so they can kind of do that. So that helps finding ways to, I don't know if there's a sort of material that we could build the walls and the roof and the foundation to make it where it's flexible a little bit for like the shaking, but also sturdy enough to keep something supported and not falling. I know that a lot of people will, if the house is too old, they will have to go in, and to allow it to stand, they have to go in and actually like better the foundation and make it more structurally sound. So maybe just making sure, maybe just like they usually do like houses that are, I don't know, I'll just throw out a number like 40 years old. Any structure that's 40 years old, they have to go and make sure up to code with the structural codes for earthquakes. Maybe they need to shorten it to 30 years and like do more inspections, or maybe they could do things like that to help. So anyway, so at least these and the whole point of these was basically to get you guys thinking of how are we going to help make earthquakes and tsunamis not so damaging, not only to our cities, but also to people. I mean, when buildings fall and collapse, it kills people as they collapse. So, how are we going to prevent this from happening? So there's a lot of things, kind of that we have on there, like to get your wheels turning in your head, right? Of things that we can do to try to make it not so horrible whenever it happens, because it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. Okay, so now that we're done with that assignment, or at least you are, other students may not be. If anybody's watching this after, if they've been absent, make sure you do your 2 comments on both of them, and then it can be graded. So the last thing you're gonna do, and this is something that if you get it finished during lunch, great. If not, that's your only homework. That's the Asia map practice. So November 4th. Yeah, November 4th. I just gave it tomorrow's date just because I wasn't sure if we were going to have time to work on it today. But basically, we're going to work on this early. Maybe get ahead. So that's basically, again, that same website. Play it 2 times, screenshot it 2 times, and email it to me. So that's basically it. We're doing Asia this time. So that is our homework, and that's the last thing you have to do. Let me look at something real quick and see if you have any grades missing.